Hey everybody, welcome to Lore Friday for August 7th, 2020. I'm your host, DM Galabond. Alright, so today on Lore Friday, we are going to continue looking uh, into the uh, Princes of the Apocalypse campaign and look at a level 4 adventure entitled The Spy's Letter. Now, this is kind of one of those little breadcrumb things, and it's one of the examples of something neat that you can drop into your own campaign that sort of helps to tie different parts of the campaign together and gives your PCs potential breadcrumbs to figure out how things relate to each other. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this particular thing here. Now, in the Princess of the Apocalypse adventure, um, there is a spy in the town of Red Larch, which is the town that sort of acts as an informal base of operations for the characters through the first part of the campaign. Um, it's presumed that the characters will come to Red Larch at some point. They, depending on where they are and how the DM wants to start the adventure, they might actually encounter some of the cultists somewhere else on their way to Red Larch. Or they may use Red Larch as kind of a base and they may go out exploring, do some things, and then come back to Red Larch to resupply. In any case, there is an NPC, the ale buyer, over at the Helm of High Sun by the name of Justrin Dale. And Justrin is a spy for the Cult of the Crushing Wave, and he has been sending letters to the leader of the stronghold over at Riverguard Keep. And remember, last week we actually went through, or recently on this series, we went through and did Riverguard Keep and took a look at what that area was like. So if the party goes to Riverguard Keep, they may at some point find letters that the spy has been sending from Red Larch, and they can tell that it's somebody from Red Larch, but the letters aren't signed, so they don't know who it is. And the only way they can find out is by having somebody who recognizes the person's handwriting, tell them who it is. So they go to, when they come back to Red Larch, they can ask around, and there are several different NPCs, specific NPCs, that they can ask and show the letter to who would recognize that Justrin is the author. And they also put a little thing in there that says if the PCs just kind of try to shotgun and say, well, we start going to everybody in town and asking, well, that's going to mean that Justrin is going to figure out that somebody is looking for the spy, and he's going to quickly get out of town, hopefully doing so without arousing suspicion. And by the time they figure out that he's the person they're looking for, he will be long gone. But if he is confronted, he'll initially deny involvement in any of the cults or deny being a spy. And he might even try to off the characters with some poisoned ale. And he talks a little bit about how he uses that poisoned ale. And it has the same effects as a potion of poison, The characters have advantage on their saving throws because it's diluted among several flagons. Um, and that dilution also makes the poison unlikely to be lethal. Uh, so a little investigation will reveal the poison flagons came from the tap room. Helm of High Sun and Justin Dale personally delivered and poured that ale himself. And then, as development, if he is captured, he'll eventually reveal under interrogation he's a member of the Cult of the Crushing Wave, and he knows about the underground stream at Riverguard Keep that leads to the temple below. So this is yet another thing. This person in Red Larch can help them figure out there's that secret underground river. So either if they've already been to Riverguard Keep and they didn't notice that underground river was there. Oh, well, now we have a reason to go back there. Or if if for some reason they find out about this, and it's like there's if they're sneaking around, it's entirely possible. I think as a DM, you would want to have some chance that if the PCs are sneaking around and they're the type of party that's just going to go and investigate everybody in town, um, if they specifically say, "Hey, we're going to go investigate that guy who buys the ale," uh, there might be a chance, and I would have to figure out, as a DM, you'd want to figure out what percentage chance you think there should be, 50%, 25%, and whatever, that he has some unfinished letters that he is going to be sending that talk about the party's activities in town. So I would think that you should be able to do that so that you could find that in Red Larch if the party hasn't ever gone to um, the Riverguard Keep yet. But I would definitely require the party to actually go searching out Justrum Dale's quarters or house or his office over at the tap room, so that you would there would have to be some reason basically for the party to come across that. It wouldn't just be something that he wouldn't just be walking around with those papers on him. They would be somewhere that he would think they were going to be safe, and the party would have to go there either because they have a suspicion or just because they're looking for any clues at all about what's going on. All right. And of course, since this is an NPC interaction, this can be picked up and be put in any kind of homebrew game. Just change the particulars of the organization he's spying for, what he belongs to. Uh, he can easily be a spy for any kind of enemy group that you have. Uh, you know, and it also works with any edition of D&D. He's just an NPC. So you can use him in a first edition game, in a fifth edition game, third edition, anything in between. All right, so that's going to do it for this little vignette, this little scenario. It's really kind of less of an adventure and more of a breadcrumb scenario. But I thought it was kind of interesting, since it's a distinct section of the campaign. I thought it was interesting to give it a little bit of time and space on its own, just to kind of show how it's being used and how it helps be part of the connective tissue of the rest of the overall campaign. If you like the kind of things that we're doing here on this channel, please click the subscribe button down on the your bottom right of the screen, and click the post notification bell down there as well, so you'll be notified every time something gets posted to the channel. You can look in the description, find out all of the ways of following me on social media, all of the different campaigns that I run on my Twitch channel, and the other things that I do during the week related to D&D. And in the comments, please go ahead and leave any comments about this particular vignette or part of the campaign. If you have played through Princes of the Apocalypse, was this something that you ran across? How did you use it if you were the DM, or how did your DM use it if you were one of the players? Did this help at all, or was this just kind of a something that never even came up in your playthrough? I can imagine this type of thing. This is one of those things that might not ever even come up at all because there may not be any reason, or the party may not ever come across these letters if they're not searching diligently when they go through the Riverguard Keep, or they may just say, "Oh, well, there was a spy there. We've already been there. We're not going to go back. So, okay, all right." Uh, you know, and they may not even take any action on it, depending on what they are, because what they're doing doesn't really seem like something you drop everything and run all the way back to town just to look for a spy. Um, you might just conclude that, oh, maybe the other cults also have spies, so maybe everybody has a little bit of an idea of who we are and what we're doing. Whatever. All right, well, that's going to do it for the spy's letter. Everybody take care. Have a wonderful week. Hope you will all be staying safe, and hope that you will be enjoying all of the D&D that you are able to play. All right. Good night, everybody.